Have you ever looked at a pile of old items sitting in your garage or shed and thought, I should just throw this away? Maybe it's that worn-out chair you've been meaning to fix, or a bunch of broken terracotta pots that have seen better days. We've all been there, holding on to things that seem useless, wondering if they're ever going to serve a purpose again. But what if I told you that instead of throwing these items out, you could transform them into something beautiful for your garden? This is exactly what we're going to talk about today, upcycling. Now, I know the word might sound a little intimidating, but trust me, it's simpler than you think. Upcycling is just a fancy way of saying, let's turn something old and unused into something new and beautiful. And it's a fantastic way for seniors to get creative and add a personal touch to their outdoor spaces. The best part? You don't need any fancy tools or skills. All you need is a bit of imagination, a few basic materials, and you'll be well on your way to creating unique and charming garden decor. Welcome to Golden Seniors Living, where we share practical tips, inspiring stories, and expert advice to help you live your best life after 60. Join our community of empowered seniors and discover ways to stay healthy, happy, and independent. Subscribe now and start living your golden years to the fullest. In this video, we're going to explore 10 easy upcycling ideas for seniors' garden decor that will not only refresh your garden but also make use of things you probably already have lying around. You'll be amazed at how quickly you can take what was once considered junk and turn it into something joyful and functional. Let's start with the first idea, upcycled garden lanterns from old jars and bottles. I'm sure you have a few empty jars or bottles sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. Maybe you've been holding on to a pretty wine bottle or a large pickle jar, but you're not sure what to do with them. Well, here's the perfect solution. These old jars and bottles can be turned into beautiful, glowing garden lanterns. All you need is a bit of creativity. You can clean the bottles, remove any labels, and then paint them with bright, cheerful colors or use stencils to create patterns. Once you're happy with the designs, place a candle or small LED light inside. You can line your garden paths with these lanterns, or even hang them from tree branches using twine or wire. The soft glow they create as the sun sets will add a warm, inviting atmosphere to your garden, and it's all thanks to things you already had at home. What's great about this project is that it's also customizable. If you prefer a rustic look, you can leave the bottles as they are, or for a more festive vibe, you could cover them with glitter or create a mosaic pattern. The possibilities are endless. And this project is not only fun but incredibly easy. It's a simple and affordable way to upcycle and make your garden look magical without breaking the bank. Now, let's move on to the second upcycling idea, old wooden crates turned into raised garden beds or planters. If you have any old wooden crates lying around, don't throw them away just yet. These crates, which are often used for shipping, can make perfect garden containers. With a little creativity, you can repurpose them into raised garden beds or even small flower boxes for your garden. The first step is to make sure the crate is sturdy enough to hold soil. If it's a little worn out, just reinforce the edges with some nails or screws. After that, you can fill the crate with soil and plant whatever your heart desires, flowers, herbs, or even small vegetables like lettuce or tomatoes. If you prefer a more decorative look, you can paint the crate with outdoor paint and add some stencils to give it a unique flair. You can even stack the crates to create a tiered garden effect, perfect for those with limited space. Not only does this upcycling project give you extra planting space, but it also adds a charming rustic look to your garden. It's a fantastic way to showcase your gardening skills and use items you might have thought of as junk. Plus, using these crates as planters makes gardening easier on your back since you don't have to bend over as much to take care of your plants. Now that we've covered how to turn old jars and crates into beautiful garden features, let's talk about upcycling old garden tools into garden art. This idea is perfect for those who might have some old, rusty tools hanging around in the shed, like shovels, rakes, or even old watering cans. Instead of throwing them away, why not transform them into whimsical garden sculptures? It sounds more complicated than it actually is, but it's easier than you think. For example, you can arrange old garden tools to create an abstract sculpture, or you could combine them to form a flower or bird design. A rake, for instance, can be bent and shaped to form the petals of a flower, or a trowel could become the body of a bird. If you're feeling extra creative, you could even paint these tools to add some color and bring them to life. Once your garden art is ready, place it somewhere prominent in your garden, like near a flower bed or along a pathway. Not only will it give your garden personality, but it will also make use of items that would have otherwise been thrown out. This project is a wonderful way to recycle your old garden tools and turn them into something that adds character and charm to your outdoor space. It's simple, fun, and an excellent way to spend a few hours in the garden without any pressure. Plus, it's a great conversation starter when guests visit your garden. Now that we've covered some of the simpler ideas, you're probably getting excited about all the upcycling possibilities. Don't worry, we still have more creative ideas to explore, and I promise they'll only get more fun from here. But before we dive into the next upcycling projects, just take a moment to reflect on the potential that lies in everything around you. What items do you have lying around your garden or home that could be transformed into something beautiful? Take a look at that old jar, the unused crates, or even the forgotten tools. These junk items could be the start of something amazing, and the best part is, you'll be able to do it all by yourself. With that in mind, let's keep going. There's so much more upcycling magic to explore. Now that you've seen how easy and fun it can be to repurpose old jars, crates, and tools, let's move on to a few more exciting upcycling ideas that will transform your garden into a space that's not only beautiful but also uniquely yours. These next ideas are perfect for seniors who enjoy a bit of creativity and want to spend some time outside, bringing new life to things that might have otherwise been thrown away. Let's start with upcycling old tires into garden planters. You might be surprised to learn that old tires can make fantastic, colorful planters for your garden. If you have a few tires lying around, either from an old car or some yard equipment, you can turn them into striking garden features. The first step is to give them a good cleaning, and then you can paint them any color you like. You can use bright, bold colors like red or blue to create a fun, eye-catching display, or if you prefer a more rustic look, you could paint them in earthy tones or even cover them with outdoor fabric for a soft, cozy effect. Once they're painted and dry, you can stack them to create a tiered garden or simply place them in different areas of your yard to make a focal point. Fill them with soil, and you're ready to plant flowers, herbs, or vegetables in each tire. If you're feeling extra creative, you can also decorate the outside of the tires with designs, stencils, or even a mosaic effect using broken pottery or colorful stones. These upcycled tire planters not only help you recycle tires, but they also add an industrial yet whimsical touch to your garden, and they can hold a lot of plants without taking up much space. Another upcycling idea that's both functional and beautiful is using old wooden ladders as vertical garden shelves. If you have a wooden ladder that's no longer sturdy enough to climb but still in good condition, it could be transformed into a lovely vertical garden feature. By leaning the ladder against a wall or fence, you can place small pots of flowers, succulents, or herbs on each rung. It creates an instant vertical garden that doesn't take up much room and looks rustic yet chic. To add even more charm, you can paint the ladder with bright, outdoor-safe paint, or keep it natural for a more rustic feel. Adding fairy lights to the ladder is another wonderful idea to create a magical ambience, especially at night. The lights will make your vertical garden come to life and cast a beautiful glow over your backyard. This is a perfect project for seniors who want to add a bit of personality to their garden while making use of an item that might have been forgotten. Let's now talk about something even more creative, upcycling old windows or doors into garden decor. If you have any old windows or doors sitting around, maybe ones that were replaced during a home renovation, these can be easily turned into stunning garden features. For windows, consider attaching them to a fence or wall to create a garden frame. You can hang plants inside the window frame, or even use the window as a trellis for climbing vines and flowers. This adds a vintage charm to your garden, while also allowing you to showcase beautiful plants. Old doors can be turned into garden gates or even used as a backdrop for a special garden area. Simply paint the door with weather-resistant paint, and you have a rustic, personalized gate or entryway. You can even add hooks to the door to hang garden tools or plants, creating a practical and pretty addition to your outdoor space. It's amazing how much character these discarded items can bring to your garden, and they're often easy to find at local thrift stores or salvage yards. Next up, we have upcycling old mugs or cups into garden markers. If you've got a collection of mismatched mugs or cups that you no longer use, don't let them sit around gathering dust. Turn them into creative garden markers for your plants. All you need to do is write the names of your plants on the mugs with permanent markers or paint, then place them in your garden to label your flowers, vegetables, or herbs. Not only does this help you stay organized in your garden, but it also adds a playful and charming touch to your outdoor space. You can arrange the mugs in a row along a garden path or even place them around different areas of your garden. The best part is that each mug or cup can be uniquely decorated, so your garden markers will be one of a kind. This project is perfect for seniors who enjoy crafting but want to keep it simple and budget-friendly. As you can see, upcycling is all about creativity, and the beauty of these projects is that they allow you to make use of things that might otherwise go to waste. Whether you're repurposing old tires, turning a ladder into a vertical garden, or transforming windows and doors into garden art, you're not only adding beauty to your garden but also helping the environment by reducing waste. But here's the most exciting part: you don't need to spend a fortune to achieve these transformations. In fact, many of these projects use materials that you already have lying around your home, making them affordable and accessible. You don't need to be a professional gardener or an expert at DIY to enjoy the satisfaction of upcycling. All you need is a little time, a dash of creativity, and the willingness to give something old a new life. If you're just getting started with upcycling, don't worry about making everything perfect. The beauty of these projects is in their imperfections. Each upcycled item tells a story and adds a personal touch to your garden that you simply can't get from store-bought decorations. And the best part? You'll feel a sense of accomplishment every time you look at your garden, knowing that you created something beautiful and unique. So take a walk around your home or garden and start looking at things differently. What could you upcycle? What old items are just waiting to be transformed into something beautiful? Trust me, there's a whole world of possibilities waiting for you, and your garden will thank you for it. With that, let's continue on to even more upcycling ideas that will help you turn your garden into the ultimate retreat. There's still so much more creativity to explore, and I'm so excited to share it with you. Now that we've explored turning old jars into lanterns, crates into raised garden beds, and ladders into vertical gardens, let's continue with even more ways to upcycle items and create beautiful, functional garden decor. You'll be amazed at how much potential there is in the things you already own, just waiting for a new purpose. With just a little imagination, you can breathe new life into old items and create a garden space that's uniquely yours. Let's start with upcycling old bicycles into garden planters. This might sound a little unusual, but it's an incredibly charming and creative way to decorate your garden. If you've got an old bicycle that's no longer in use, don't toss it out. Instead, transform it into a whimsical garden feature by using the frame as a planter. Simply remove the wheels and use the frame to create a striking visual focal point in your garden. You can fill the basket with flowers or trailing vines, and you can even plant flowers in the frame itself. For a more rustic look, you can paint the bike with soft pastel colors or use a weathered paint effect for added charm. This is a perfect upcycling project for seniors who enjoy working with their hands but don't want to take on anything too complicated. Plus, it's a great way to add some fun and unexpected decor to your garden. Imagine a bicycle overflowing with colorful blooms sitting at the corner of your garden. It'll definitely become a conversation piece when guests visit. The best part? You can easily find old bikes at yard sales, thrift stores, or even in your own garage, making this an affordable option. Next, let's talk about upcycling old wine barrels into garden seating. If you've got an old wine barrel lying around, it's time to turn it into something useful and beautiful for your garden. These large barrels are not only decorative, but they also make fantastic seating options for your outdoor space. You can simply cut the barrel in half and add a cushion to the top to create a rustic bench. If you're handy with tools, you can also create a full seating area by using multiple barrels as the base and adding a plank of wood for a tabletop. It's a great way to recycle something that would otherwise go to waste and turn it into a piece of furniture that's both functional and unique. These upcycled wine barrel seats add character and charm to your garden, and they're surprisingly easy to put together. You don't need to be an expert carpenter or have a lot of fancy tools, just a little creativity and some basic materials will do the trick. And, because wine barrels have a rustic, vintage look, they'll complement almost any garden style, from cottage gardens to more modern landscapes. If you're looking for a simpler project, old kitchen colanders turned into hanging planters are another great way to upcycle. Colanders, those perforated bowls we use for draining pasta, make the perfect containers for hanging plants. You can drill a couple of holes in the side of the colander, attach some twine or chain, and hang them from a tree branch or garden hook. Fill the colander with your favorite plants, whether it's a colorful flower, a trailing vine, or some herbs, and watch it thrive in the sun. This project is incredibly easy to do and makes for a wonderful decorative touch in any garden. Plus, the holes in the colander allow for good drainage, which is essential for healthy plant growth. You can also get creative by painting the colanders in fun colors to match the vibe of your garden or leave them in their original, rustic state for a more vintage look. Now, let's move on to upcycling old mason jars into bird feeders. If you've got some mason jars sitting around, here's a great way to repurpose them while helping your local wildlife. By adding a small wooden dowel to the jar, you can create a simple, hanging bird feeder. Just fill the mason jar with birdseed, screw on the lid, and use the dowel to allow the birds to perch while they snack. You can hang these feeders from trees, fences, or even a custom-made post in your garden. It's a great project for seniors who want to attract birds to their garden and enjoy some birdwatching while sipping their morning coffee. Mason jars are perfect for this upcycling project because they're easy to work with, and you can personalize them in any way you like. Whether you paint them, decorate them with ribbon, or leave them as is, these bird feeders will add a cute, rustic touch to your garden. And the best part is, they're so easy to make that you can create several and hang them around your garden to attract a variety of birds. If you want to create a more whimsical vibe, consider upcycling old teacups into garden art. Do you have a collection of mismatched teacups gathering dust? Instead of letting them take up space in your cupboard, why not repurpose them into something lovely for your garden? You can use teacups as plant holders by attaching them to small stakes and planting flowers inside. Arrange them in a cluster around your garden for a charming, fairy tale effect, or hang them from branches using twine. Teacups make an adorable, quirky addition to any garden, and they're easy to find at thrift stores or in your own kitchen. This upcycling idea is perfect for seniors who love to add a bit of personality to their garden. The teacups come in all sorts of fun designs and colors, and they can bring an element of playfulness to your garden. Whether you use them as planters, bird feeders, or simple decor, you'll have a unique and beautiful feature that's also a conversation starter. Now, I know that some of these projects may sound like they require a lot of effort, but trust me, upcycling is all about having fun and getting creative. You don't have to be a professional to make something beautiful out of what might have seemed like junk. And with each upcycled item you create, you'll not only be adding a personal touch to your garden, but you'll also be reducing waste and helping the environment. So, take a look around your home and garden. What can you upcycle? What old items are just waiting to be transformed into something special? With just a little imagination and a few simple tools, you can turn your garden into a stunning, personalized oasis, all while reusing things that might have ended up in the trash. Let's keep this upcycling journey going, and see how many beautiful things we can create together. As we continue on our upcycling journey, let's explore a few more fun and creative ideas that will bring a new life to the items you already have. These next projects are perfect for adding a bit of charm to your garden, while also making sure that you're using what you've got in the most eco-friendly way possible. One upcycling project that's both charming and functional is turning old garden tools into a vertical garden structure. If you have old, unused garden tools like shovels, rakes, or hoes, instead of letting them rust away in the shed, why not repurpose them to create a beautiful vertical garden? Have a sturdy handle. You can place them along a fence or wall, spacing them out evenly. Then, tie the handles together using wire or twine, making sure they stand upright and secure. You can then fill the tool heads with soil and plant flowers, herbs, or succulents in them. It's a wonderful way to create an interesting focal point in your garden while making use of items you already own. Not only will you be able to add plants that bring life and color to your garden, but you'll also have a quirky and functional piece of decor. This project is perfect for seniors who love to garden but also want to incorporate a little creativity into their garden design. Plus, it's a great way to add height and dimension to your garden space, which is often hard to achieve in smaller areas. Another simple yet effective upcycling idea is using old birdcages as planters. If you have an old, unused birdcage sitting in your attic or garage, it can easily be transformed into a stunning garden feature. The intricate design of most birdcages makes them perfect for adding an element of elegance to your garden. You can use the birdcage as a container for plants, whether it's a single potted plant inside or cascading vines and flowers spilling out of the cage. You can place it on a table, hang it from a tree branch, or even use it as a centerpiece in your garden. To make the birdcage even more eye-catching, consider adding a bit of paint. Soft, pastel shades work wonderfully for a vintage, cottage feel, or you could go for bold, bright colors to add a pop of vibrancy. If you're feeling extra creative, you can even add fairy lights inside the cage to make it glow in the evening, creating a magical effect. What's fantastic about upcycling birdcages is that they don't require a lot of materials or expertise. All you need is a bit of soil, some plants, and maybe a coat of paint if you want to customize it. This is the kind of simple, affordable project that adds charm and personality to any garden, while also reducing waste. Now, let's take it a step further with upcycling old books into garden art. If you love books but have a collection of old ones that are gathering dust, why not turn them into a unique garden decoration? You can glue a few old books together to create a stack, then place a small potted plant on top. Or, if you're feeling adventurous, you can cut the pages of a book to create a layered effect and turn it into a flower sculpture. This project works best with hardcover books, and the result can be truly stunning, perfect for adding a vintage or whimsical touch to your garden. Books can also be used to create custom garden markers. You can take the covers or pages from old books, write the names of your plants on them, and then attach them to wooden stakes or rods. These personalized garden markers will not only help you stay organized but also make your garden feel extra special with literary charm. The beauty of this project is that it doesn't require any complex tools, just a bit of glue, paint, and creativity. You can easily create something unique that tells a story and adds personality to your garden. Plus, this project is a great way to give old, unwanted books a second life, while also adding a personal touch to your garden. Next, let's talk about upcycling old suitcases into garden storage or planters. If you have any old suitcases sitting around, maybe ones that are no longer functional or have seen better days, this is a perfect project to breathe new life into them. You can use the suitcases as storage for gardening tools, seeds, or supplies, or you can turn them into planters by removing the inside lining and filling them with soil. For added flair, you can paint the suitcase or keep it as is for a more vintage look. Adding plants to the suitcase is a great way to introduce a bit of nostalgia to your garden while making use of items that might otherwise be forgotten. This upcycling project not only looks great, but it's also functional, giving you a creative way to store your gardening tools or showcase your plants. Finally, let's explore a project that's perfect for those who love a bit of whimsy in their garden, upcycling old CD or DVD discs into garden mosaics. If you've got a collection of old CDs or DVDs that you don't need anymore, why not turn them into garden art? These shiny discs can be broken up into small pieces and used to create beautiful, sparkling mosaics for your garden. You can arrange the pieces to form patterns on flower pots, garden paths, or even a garden border. The reflective surface of the discs adds a lovely, magical touch to your garden, especially when the sun hits them. You can use these CD mosaics to create a variety of designs, from simple geometric shapes to intricate, colorful patterns. The process of breaking the discs and arranging them may take a little time, but the end result is incredibly rewarding. Plus, this is an upcycling project that's perfect for seniors who want to spend some time outside, working with their hands while also creating something unique and beautiful for their garden. As you can see, upcycling is not just about making your garden more beautiful, it's also about giving new life to the things you already own. It's about being creative, resourceful, and finding ways to make the most out of what you already have. Whether it's turning old books into art, upcycling suitcases into planters, or creating mosaics from CDs, these projects allow you to express your creativity while also making your garden feel more personal and special. With each new upcycling project, you're adding character, color, and functionality to your outdoor space, all while reducing waste and helping the environment. So, take a moment to look around your home and garden and see what's waiting to be repurposed. The possibilities are endless, and with each creative idea, you're one step closer to creating the garden of your dreams. I hope you're feeling inspired to get started on your upcycling journey and bring new life to your garden with these creative ideas. It's amazing what a little imagination and a few simple tools can do, and I'm sure your garden will look even more beautiful and personal with each upcycled piece. Whether you choose to turn an old bicycle into a planter or transform vintage books into garden art, remember that these projects are all about having fun and being resourceful. If you've enjoyed these upcycling ideas, I'd love to hear about your own creative projects. Let me know in the comments what you're planning to upcycle next, or if you've tried any of these ideas already. Don't forget to hit the like button if you found this video helpful, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more fun and easy gardening tips every week. Your support means a lot, and I can't wait to share even more exciting ideas with you.